The Book of Enoch, a retelling. The Book of Enoch is an ancient Jewish text attributed to Enoch, the great-grandfather of Noah. It is not part of the canonical Bible, but is considered scripture in some traditions, especially in the Ethiopian Orthodox Church. The book is divided into several sections, including visions of heaven, the fall of the Watchers, fallen angels, the coming judgment, and the final destiny of the righteous and the wicked. Let us now see the first chapter, which is the Watcher's Descent. The moon shone brightly over Mount Hermon, its silver glow illuminating the rocky cliffs. The air was thick with an eerie silence, as though the earth itself sensed the arrival of something otherworldly. Upon the summit, a gathering of celestial beings stood. Angels of great stature, their eyes burning like stars, their wings hidden to blend among men. These were the Watchers, sent by the Most High to observe the ways of humanity. But now, their leader, Samyaza, spoke with a voice that trembled the air. "Brothers, we have watched them from above, these daughters of men, fair and radiant in beauty. A desire burns within us that we can no longer resist. Let us descend to them, take them as wives, and bear our own children upon the earth." Murmurs of both hesitation and hunger rippled through the assembly. Azazel, one of the mightiest among them, stepped forward. His eyes gleamed with ambition. "If we do this," he said, "we must all be bound by an oath. Let no one betray another, for surely the Most High will judge us for our transgression." And so, upon that mountain, the 200 angels swore a binding oath, sealing their fate. With a great descent, like falling stars, they entered the world of men, disguising their celestial glory. They took wives, teaching them the hidden secrets of heaven, metals for forging weapons, the use of herbs for sorcery, the reading of the stars for divination. Soon, from their union, the Nephilim were born, giants of immense size and strength, who devoured the land's resources and spread terror. But their corruption reached beyond the physical world. Blood filled the rivers, war and sin spread like wildfire. The cries of the oppressed rose to heaven, and the earth itself groaned beneath the weight of wickedness. And the Lord heard. Chapter 2, the cry of the earth and the archangel's mission. Far beyond the mortal realm, in the courts of heaven, the archangels stood before the throne of the Most High. Michael, the warrior of God, clenched his fists. "The cries of men rise to us, O Lord. The Watchers have defiled the daughters of men, and their offspring consume the earth. What shall be done?" Gabriel, the messenger of light, bowed low. "The Nephilim have filled the world with violence. The knowledge stolen from heaven corrupts the hearts of men." Then the voice of the Almighty, like the rolling thunder, echoed across the heavens. "Go, my faithful ones. Bind the Watchers in the depths of the earth. Cast Azazel into the darkness of Dudel. As for man, the flood shall come to cleanse the land, but the righteous will be preserved." At his command, the archangels descended, and judgment began. Chapter 3, the Judgment of the Watchers. The earth trembled beneath the feet of the Nephilim. Their voices roared across the valleys, their massive hands grasping for weapons, their eyes burning with unnatural light. They had grown arrogant, ruling as kings, towering over men as demigods. But above them, unseen by mortal eyes, the judgment of heaven had already been decreed. The gathering of the archangels. In the highest realm, where the stars shone like burning coals upon the sea of eternity, the faithful archangels stood before the Almighty. Michael the warrior spoke first. "Lord of hosts, the earth groans beneath the weight of blood. The Watchers have defiled the daughters of men, and their offspring ravaged the land. What shall be done?" Then Gabriel, the messenger of truth, bowed. "They have taught sorcery, war, and vanity. The knowledge of heaven is now the corruption of men." Raphael, healer of souls, added, "Their rebellion has broken the order of creation. Their judgment must come swiftly." The Almighty, whose presence was like fire and storm, spoke in a voice that made the heavens tremble. "Bind the Watchers beneath the mountains of the earth. Cast Azazel into the desolate abyss, and cover him with unbreakable stone. As for the Nephilim, the flood shall cleanse the world of their corruption. But my servant Enoch, he shall be my witness, to walk among the heavens, and write what must be remembered." With a single word, the decree was sealed. The archangels departed like bolts of lightning, descending toward the doomed world. The binding of Azazel. Far beneath the burning sun, in the wastelands of Dudel, Azazel stood atop a jagged cliff. His golden hair, once gleaming with celestial light, was now darkened with ash. He had been the greatest of the Watchers, the teacher of secrets, the one who had shown men how to forge weapons, adorn themselves with precious stones, and read the stars for power. He knew judgment was coming. He had seen it in the trembling of the skies. The ground split open, and from it rose Raphael, clad in armor of radiant silver. His voice thundered like a mountain collapsing. "Azazel, your time is finished. For the wickedness you have sown, you shall be cast into darkness until the end of days." Azazel bared his teeth, wings unfurling in defiance. "You call this justice, Raphael? Is it justice to grant man the gift of wisdom, only to punish those who opened his eyes?" "Wisdom was not yours to give," Raphael replied. "You have brought only ruin." With a single command, the archangel raised his hand, and golden chains, forged by the decree of the Most High, wrapped around Azazel. He screamed as the heavens themselves bound him, his power fading like smoke in the wind. Then the ground swallowed him whole. The abyss of Dudael closed over him, sealing him away until the final judgment. And silence fell upon the desert. The fall of the Watchers. Across the lands, Michael and Gabriel led the charge against the remaining Watchers. One by one, they were cast down, some into the depths of the mountains, others imprisoned in rivers of fire beneath the earth. Samyaza, the leader of the rebellion, stood upon a great peak as the heavens raged. He looked down at the world that he had ruled in secret, at the women who had once adored him, at the children who now knew nothing but war and hunger. He had thought himself a god. But now, as Michael descended with a blade of celestial flame, he knew he had only been a fool. The battle was over, the Watchers were no more. But the giants still remained, and their wickedness had no end. Chapter 4, Enoch's Calling. In the days of judgment, when the skies burned with strange omens and the earth trembled with the weight of sin, there was one man who walked in righteousness. His name was Enoch, son of Jared, a scribe of the Most High. One evening, as he stood upon a quiet hill, gazing at the stars, a wind unlike any he had known swept over him. The trees bent in reverence, and a voice, neither of man nor beast, called his name. "Enoch, son of man, rise." A brilliant light pierced the heavens, and before him stood two figures clad in white. Their faces shone with a radiance that no mortal could bear. Trembling, Enoch fell to his knees. "Who are you?" he whispered. The angels spoke in unison. "We are the Watchers of the Most High, those who have remained faithful. You have been chosen, Enoch. The Lord calls you to walk among the heavens, to witness his glory, and to write the truth that men must know." Before Enoch could speak, the wind roared, and the ground beneath him melted into nothing. He was no longer on earth. He was soaring through the stars. Chapter 5, The Journey Through the Heavens. The world below faded into mist. Enoch's body felt weightless as he soared upward, carried by unseen forces. He passed through layers of the sky, the wind rushing around him like a song only the heavens could hear. Then a brilliant radiance surrounded him, and his feet found solid ground. When he looked around, he saw a landscape unlike anything on earth. The sky above was like molten sapphire, shining with the brilliance of 1,000 suns, yet it did not burn his eyes. The ground beneath him shimmered like glass, reflecting the light of the celestial realm. Before him stood the two angels who had called him. One of them, whose robes gleamed like morning light, spoke, "Welcome, Enoch, to the first heaven." The first heaven. The spirits of the righteous Enoch turned and beheld a great expanse, filled with multitudes of spirits, countless as the stars. They stood in brilliant garments, their faces serene with peace. A gentle wind, fragrant with unknown flowers, carried their songs through the air. "Who are they?" Enoch asked. The angel beside him replied, "These are the spirits of the righteous who have departed from the world of men. They await the day of resurrection, when they shall be clothed in glory and walk upon the new earth." As he watched, some of the spirits lifted their hands in praise, while others gazed longingly toward a distant light. "Why do some look sorrowful?" Enoch asked. The angel's voice grew solemn. "They await justice. For while they are counted among the righteous, the wicked still walk upon the earth, and the blood of the innocent cries out." Enoch nodded, understanding that the burden of injustice still weighed upon creation. Then the angels led him further. The second heaven, the prison of the fallen ones. As they ascended, the air grew colder. The brilliant light dimmed, and a heavy darkness loomed ahead. A great chasm split the sky, its depth swallowed in shadows. Enoch peered down and gasped. Below, monstrous figures were bound in chains of fire, their forms twisted and grotesque. Their eyes burned with unquenchable rage. One of the prisoners lifted his head and locked his gaze upon Enoch. A voice, deep as thunder, echoed from the abyss. "Mortal one, why do you walk the paths of heaven?" Enoch recoiled, but the angel beside him lifted his hand, and the bound one fell silent. "These," the angel said, "are the fallen watchers, the sons of heaven who took wives among men. Their punishment is sealed until the great judgment." One of the prisoners let out a terrible wail. "We were once glorious. We stood before the throne. Why should we suffer forever?" The angel turned away. "Because you knew the will of the Most High, yet you rebelled." The ground trembled as the prisoners thrashed against their chains. Enoch felt the weight of their torment, but he knew their fate was just. The angels led him onward. The third heaven, the garden of life. Suddenly warmth returned, and the air became fragrant with the scent of blossoms. Enoch now stood before a vast and endless garden. Trees of emerald leaves and golden fruit stretched toward the heavens, their branches shimmering with divine light. A river, clear as crystal, flowed through the heart of the garden, its waters singing in a language Enoch could not understand. The angel smiled. "This is the garden of life, prepared for the righteous after the judgment. Those who walk in the ways of the Most High shall eat from these trees and drink of this water, and they shall never perish." Enoch reached out, but the angel gently held his hand. "Not yet, son of man, your time has not come." A longing filled Enoch's soul. He knew he would return to the earth, but now his heart yearned for this place beyond the world of men. Then they ascended again. The fourth heaven, the celestial order. Here, Enoch saw the sun and the moon in their courses, guarded by mighty angels. The stars moved in perfect harmony, their light like the breath of the Almighty. The angel beside him spoke, "Behold, the order of creation. Each star has its appointed path, each light its purpose. Nothing moves without the will of the Most High." As he gazed, Enoch understood. Even time itself was held in the hand of the Creator. The seventh heaven, the throne of the Almighty, higher still they rose, until Enoch could scarcely breathe. A vast sea of fire stretched before him, yet it did not consume. He beheld multitudes of angels, too many to count, singing in voices like thunder and rushing waters. And at the center, a great throne, shining with unapproachable light. Upon it sat the Ancient of Days, his robe whiter than snow, his face beyond human sight. The moment Enoch beheld the throne, he fell to the ground, for no mortal could stand before such holiness. But a voice, mighty and gentle, spoke from the light. "Rise, son of man." Trembling, Enoch lifted his head. "You have seen what no man has seen. You shall return to the earth and bear witness. Write all that you have learned, for the judgment draws near." Enoch's soul burned with awe. "But Lord," he whispered, "who shall bring judgment upon the wicked?" Then from the throne a name was spoken, a name that caused the very heavens to tremble. The Son of Man. Chapter 6, the Book of Parables, the Son of Man and the Coming Judgment. Enoch stood upon the sea of fire before the throne of the Almighty. His soul trembled, for he had heard the most sacred of names, the Son of Man. The very heavens had shaken at its mention. A voice, like the sound of rushing waters, spoke again from the radiant throne. "Enoch, son of Jared, you have seen the heavens and the fates of men. But now, I shall reveal to you the mystery of the ages, the one who is to come. He who was before all things, and through whom all shall be judged." The light around the throne parted, and Enoch beheld a figure standing at the right hand of the Almighty. His face shone like the sun, his garments were whiter than snow, and his eyes burned with the fire of wisdom. Power radiated from him, yet his presence was gentle, like a shepherd among his flock. "Who is this?" Enoch whispered in awe. The angel beside him, who had led him through the heavens, answered, "This is the elect one, the Son of Man, the righteous one who shall judge the nations. Before the foundation of the world, he was chosen. Through him, salvation will come to the righteous, and destruction will befall the wicked." The vision of the throne of the Son of Man. Then Enoch saw another throne, set beside the throne of the Almighty. It was prepared for the Son of Man, the chosen one. The voice of the Almighty proclaimed, He shall sit upon the throne of glory, and all the kings of the earth shall bow before him. The mighty shall tremble, for they shall be judged according to their deeds. The books of heaven shall be opened, and no secret shall remain hidden. As Enoch watched, he saw a gathering of countless souls. The righteous were clothed in light, their faces shining with joy. But the wicked were brought forth in chains, their eyes filled with terror. The kings of the earth, those who had ruled with cruelty and shed innocent blood, fell to their knees, begging for mercy. But the Son of Man gazed upon them with eyes that saw through their souls. "You have exalted yourselves above men," he declared. "You have built kingdoms upon the bones of the weak and defied the laws of the Most High. Now your reign has ended." With a wave of his hand, the wicked were cast into darkness, their cries swallowed by the abyss. The fate of the righteous. Then Enoch saw the righteous gathered before the throne. These were the ones who had walked in the ways of the Almighty, who had suffered under the wicked but had not turned from the path of truth. The Son of Man smiled upon them. "Come, you who are blessed by my Father. The earth shall be renewed, and you shall inherit it. Your days of sorrow are ended." Then, from the throne, rivers of living water flowed, and the land was transformed. Deserts bloomed with life, the sky was filled with light, and a new earth was born, a world where death and sorrow no longer existed. And Enoch wept, for he had never seen such beauty. The final judgment of the watchers. But the vision was not yet over. The angel led Enoch to a place of darkness, where the fallen watchers lay bound in their chains. They writhed in torment, their once glorious forms now ruined. Then the voice of the Almighty thundered, "You who once walked among the stars, who abandoned your place and corrupted the world, you shall never be free. You have seen the judgment of men, but now your own fate is sealed." And Enoch beheld a great abyss open beneath them. Fire rose from its depths, consuming the fallen ones. Their screams echoed through eternity, but no mercy remained for them. The end of the vision. Enoch stood trembling. He had seen things no man had ever seen. The angel turned to him. "Now you must return, Enoch. Write all that you have seen, so that the generations to come may know what awaits the righteous and the wicked." Then, in the blink of an eye, Enoch was back upon the earth, standing in the quiet of the night. The stars above shone as they always had, but he knew nothing would ever be the same. Chapter 7. The Prophecy of the Great Flood. The earth in chaos. The earth groaned under the weight of corruption. Blood stained the rivers. Smoke choked the skies. The Nephilim, the monstrous offspring of the fallen watchers and the daughters of men, ruled with terror. The cries of the innocent rose to the heavens. Enoch walked among men, his robes stained with dust, his eyes weary from visions of destruction. He had seen the coming storm, not of wind and rain, but of divine wrath. One evening, as he stood upon a mountain, the voice of the Almighty came to him like rolling thunder. "Son of man, the hour of judgment draws near. The hearts of men are wicked beyond measure, and the watchers have defiled my creation. The floodgates of the deep shall open. The sky shall weep for 40 days and 40 nights. Only one man shall be spared, and through him the earth shall be renewed." Enoch's breath caught in his throat. "Who, Lord?" The Almighty answered, "Noah, son of Lamech, a man righteous in my sight." Enoch's warning to the people. The next morning, Enoch descended into the valley, where the people gathered in the marketplace. He climbed upon a stone and raised his hands. "Hear me, O men of the earth. The Most High has spoken. Your wickedness has reached the heavens, and the time of mercy is ending. Repent, lest you perish in the coming flood." The crowd murmured. Some laughed, others sneered. A man stepped forward, tall and robed in fine garments. His eyes were filled with scorn. "Enoch, prophet of doom, how many times have you spoken of judgment? Yet the sun still rises, and we still feast. Your words are the whispers of an old fool." The people laughed, emboldened by their leader. But Enoch's voice did not waver. "You mock now, but the day will come when the waters will rise and you will cry out for mercy, but mercy will no longer be given." A woman in the crowd spat at his feet. "Why should we fear? The watchers have given us knowledge. We are as gods now." Enoch's heart ached. He turned away, knowing their fate was sealed. The judgment of the Nephilim. That night, as Enoch prayed beneath the stars, a great trembling shook the earth. A deep, guttural roar echoed through the valleys. From the darkness came the Nephilim, towering giants with the faces of men but the souls of demons. Their eyes burned like molten gold, their voices cracked like breaking stone. Their leader, a giant named Gilgamesh, stood before Enoch. "Prophet," he rumbled, "we know of your warnings. We know of the coming flood. Tell us, will the Most High spare us?" Enoch gazed at the monstrous beings before him. Though they were mighty, he saw fear in their eyes. "You are abominations, the offspring of rebellion," Enoch said. "The Most High has declared your doom. Not one of your kind shall survive." Gilgamesh's face darkened. "Then we shall make war against heaven itself." The Nephilim raised their weapons, their roars shaking the trees. But before they could strike, a blinding light split the sky. Descending like fire were the mighty archangels, Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, and Uriel. Michael's sword gleamed like a burning star. "You shall not raise your hands against the prophet of the Most High." Gabriel's voice thundered. "Your time is finished, Nephilim. The judgment has begun." The battle was swift and terrible. The Nephilim, mighty though they were, could not stand against the hosts of heaven. One by one they fell, some buried beneath the mountains, others cast into the depths of the sea. The earth drank their blood, and their cries were lost to the wind. Enoch's final prophecy. With the giants destroyed, Enoch climbed once more to the mountaintop. The heavens opened, and he beheld the vision of the flood. He saw the rain pour from the sky, the earth split open, and waters rush forth like an unstoppable beast. He saw men and women clawing at mountaintops, screaming for mercy. But mercy was no longer given. And he saw Noah, the last righteous man, building an ark, the promise of a new beginning. Then the voice of the Almighty spoke once more. "Your time on earth is ending, Enoch. You have walked in my ways. Now you shall walk with me." A great wind arose. The ground beneath Enoch vanished. He felt himself lifted into the heavens, beyond the reach of man, beyond the touch of death. And Enoch was no more. Chapter 8. The final judgment of the wicked. The vision of the end, Enoch, now beyond the mortal realm, was taken by the angels to witness what was to come after the great flood, the final judgment of the wicked at the end of time. The angel Uriel, who held a book inscribed with divine records, stood beside him. His face was solemn as he spoke. "Behold, Enoch, the fate of those who defied the Most High. The day of reckoning approaches." Before Enoch's eyes, the heavens trembled, and the earth split apart. A great fire erupted from the depths of the abyss, and a terrible storm covered the land. The seas raged and the mountains crumbled. The voice of the Almighty thundered across creation. "It is done. The time of judgment has come." The gathering of the souls. Enoch saw multitudes of souls standing before the throne of the Most High. Some were radiant like the morning sun, clothed in garments of light. Others trembled in chains, their forms shadowed in darkness. Michael, the great archangel, stepped forward. "Now the books shall be opened, and each shall be judged according to their deeds." The book of life was brought forth, and names were read aloud. When a righteous soul was called, a great light surrounded them, and the Son of Man smiled upon them. "Come, enter into the joy of your Lord," he said, and the righteous were led into the kingdom prepared for them. But when the names of the wicked were read, darkness consumed them. The Son of Man turned to them, his voice firm yet sorrowful. "You have walked in the ways of the rebellious. You have shed the blood of the innocent. You have chosen the path of darkness. Now you shall have your reward." And the ground beneath them split apart. A great abyss opened, and the souls of the wicked were cast into the pit. The lake of fire. Enoch beheld the abyss, a place of endless torment where flames roared like an eternal furnace. The fallen angels and the wicked rulers of the earth cried out in agony, but there was no escape. The watchers who had corrupted mankind were bound in chains of fire, their wings withered, their eyes hollow with despair. Azazel, the leader of the fallen, lay in the deepest pit, his form twisted beyond recognition. His once proud voice was now a whisper of regret. "I was once among the stars," he murmured, "but now I am nothing." But there was no mercy left for him. Then Enoch saw death and Sheol themselves, the very forces of the grave, cast into the lake of fire. And the voice of the Almighty declared, "The curse is ended. The wicked shall trouble the earth no more." The promise of a new world. As the last of the wicked were cast away, Enoch looked upon the heavens and saw a new vision, one of hope. A new earth was rising, its land untouched by sorrow. Rivers of living water flowed from the throne of the Almighty, and trees bore fruit for the healing of nations. And the Son of Man stood at the center, his face shining like the sun. The righteous, clothed in glory, gathered before him. Behold, he said, I make all things new. And joy filled the heavens, for the reign of the righteous had begun. Chapter 9. The New Earth and the Eternal Kingdom. The Renewal of Creation. Enoch stood upon the highest mountain, gazing upon a world reborn. The old earth had passed away, swallowed by fire and judgment. In its place, a new land stretched beyond the horizon, pure, untarnished, untouched by sin. The sky glowed with the golden light of an eternal dawn, and the air was filled with the songs of angels. The voice of the Almighty thundered from his throne, Behold, I make all things new. Mountains that once crumbled in wrath now stood firm, crowned with forests of emerald green. Rivers of living water flowed from the throne of the Most High, their waters clear as crystal. Fields of golden wheat swayed in an endless breeze, and trees bore fruit of every kind, fruit that granted life eternal. Enoch wept with joy, for never had he seen such beauty. The angel Uriel, standing beside him, spoke, This is the inheritance of the righteous, the home of those who have remained faithful, the eternal city. Then Enoch beheld the holy city descending from the heavens. Its walls shone like jasper, and its gates were of pearl. The streets were paved with gold, yet they gleamed like transparent glass. From the very center of the city rose the throne of the Almighty, and beside it sat the Son of Man, clothed in majesty. A great multitude of the righteous entered the city, their faces shining with eternal joy. The Son of Man stood, and his voice rang like a mighty trumpet. Come, you who have been faithful, and inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. The people fell to their knees, their voices lifted in praise. Enoch turned to Uriel. What of sorrow? What of death? Uriel smiled. There shall be no more pain, nor mourning, nor crying. The former things have passed away. The Almighty himself will dwell among his people. And Enoch rejoiced. The light of the Most High. As Enoch walked through the city, he noticed something wondrous. There was no sun, no moon, and yet the land was bathed in endless light. The angel explained, The Almighty himself is the light of this world. There is no night here, for his glory never fades. Enoch saw the nations of the saved bringing their offerings before the throne. There were no more divisions, no more wars, no more sorrow. Then a great voice declared, To the righteous, this kingdom shall never end. They shall reign forever and ever. And the heavens echoed with praise. The final revelation, Enoch turned one last time to the angel. And what of me? Uriel smiled. You, Enoch, have walked with the Most High. You shall dwell among the hosts of heaven, a witness to eternity. And with that the vision faded. Enoch, taken from the earth, was never seen again by men, but his words remained written for generations to come, the testimony of judgment, mercy, and the eternal kingdom of the righteous. Chapter 10. Enoch's final days and his ascension. The end of Enoch's earthly mission. Enoch had walked through the ages, seeing the past, the present, and the future. He had seen the judgment of the wicked, the promise of salvation, and the eternal kingdom that awaited the righteous. But now, his time on earth was drawing to a close. He stood one last time upon the mountaintop overlooking the earth. The winds whispered through the trees, and the sun set on a world that had been forever changed by his words. Enoch knew that the mission the Almighty had given him was complete. He had warned the nations, foretold the judgment, and witnessed the eternal restoration of creation. His work was done. The call of the Almighty. As Enoch stood in silent reflection, a great light appeared before him. It was as though the heavens themselves had opened, and from within the light, a voice spoke, gentle yet powerful. Enoch, you have been faithful in all things. You have walked in my ways, and now it is time for you to return to the place prepared for you. Enoch's heart swelled with awe and reverence. He knew what this meant. The time had come for him to leave the earth and enter into the presence of the Almighty. He fell to his knees, his hands lifted in worship. Lord, I am ready. The light grew brighter, and from it a great chariot of fire descended, drawn by horses of fire. The chariot was crafted of the purest gold, shining with a brilliance that seemed to outshine the sun. The ascension of Enoch. The chariot stopped before Enoch, and the angels of the Lord, resplendent in their radiant garments, came to him. They lifted him gently, and he felt himself rising from the earth. The mountains and valleys below grew smaller as he ascended into the heavens. Enoch looked down one last time upon the land he had walked. He saw the great city of the righteous, the new earth, and the eternal kingdom, and his heart rejoiced. He had played his part in the fulfillment of the Almighty's plan. As Enoch ascended higher, he passed through the gates of heaven. The air was thick with the fragrance of incense, and the sound of countless angels singing filled the air. The throne of the Almighty loomed before him, radiant and majestic. The presence of the Almighty. Before Enoch stood the Almighty, clothed in glory, his presence filling the entire expanse of the heavens. The Son of Man stood at his right hand, and the hosts of heaven surrounded the throne. The saints of the ages, those who had walked in righteousness, filled the courts of heaven. Enoch fell to his knees, his face bowed before the one who had called him. But the Almighty raised him up, his voice full of compassion. "Enoch, my servant, you have been faithful. You have witnessed my judgments, my mercy, and my kingdom. Now you shall dwell with me forever." And Enoch felt peace, such peace that it filled every fiber of his being. He knew that this was his eternal home, the place where he would reside with the Almighty forever. The final word. As Enoch stood before the throne of God, he heard the voice of the Almighty once more. "Go now, Enoch. Be at rest. Your journey on earth has ended, but your name shall endure for generations to come. The things you have seen and the words you have spoken shall be a light to all who follow." And as the voice of God faded, Enoch knew he would never return to the earth again. His place was now in the heavens, among the righteous, witnessing the glory of God for all eternity. The legacy of Enoch. And so, Enoch ascended into the heavens, and no man on earth saw him again. His name was written in the annals of heaven, a testimony to his faithfulness and his obedience. The earth remained, its history marked by the words and prophecies of the faithful prophet. If you really see this story interesting, remember to subscribe to our channel, like, comment, and share the video.